So our next guest, baby. Now I had to pull out the real read now.
Okay.
Okay. Zina C. Pierre, PhD, is the founding president and CEO of REARP Strategies, LLC, RSG, a full-service woman minority-owned business in Maryland. For more than 20 years, she has provided lobbying, advocacy, strategic partnership development, and political management. She currently provides professional development training and creates diversity, equity, and inclusion frameworks for government and corporate entities.
All right.
Dr. Pierre is a full-time pastor and author of the book, Your Prayers Matter to God.
Absolutely do.
Dr. Pierre joins us now. Doc!
Good evening.
Hey. Good evening.
Hey.
Okay, first of all, Doc, you'll make me mad because Allison loves your house already. So she's gonna say something. She's gonna say something, right, babe?
He knows me so well. He knows me
she sees
so
your
well.
back, and she's gonna say something to me about the house. But well, Doc, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. It's so great to be with you, Allison and Marc. I watch you guys often, and it's just an honor to be here. So thank you.
Well, it's an honor to have you on the show. And actually, you know, the show is your oyster. I mean, you have so much going on. You have so much going on. What did you want to talk about tonight as we have you featured tonight? Because again, I mean, you are doing it, okay?
In a very busy season right now. We're
in the very busy season. Yes, we have an exciting weekend coming up on Friday. So I'm really excited to even talk about this. I don't know if you know that the Legislative Black Caucus of Maryland is the largest body of Black legislators in the country, right in Maryland. And we have our annual legislative weekend that comes during the November month. And so this coming Friday, we have a host of workshops. We used to do them in person, but now we do them virtually post-COVID and in the middle of COVID. And it sort of works for us and it works for the people. But it provides us an opportunity to talk about some of the issues that matter most to African Americans and Marylanders. And so we've got the Secretary of MDOT, Maryland Department of Transportation, talking about MBE opportunities for Black businesses. We have Secretary Jake Day from the Housing Department talking about affordable housing and what that looks like in Maryland for people who look like us, particularly you know, in the downtrodden challenge that we went through with devaluation of property, particularly in areas that are populated by African Americans, unfair and biased appraisal bias. So these are conversations that are going to take place all day on Friday, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning until 4 p.m. Or 4:45 that afternoon. We're going to talk about environmental justice because a lot of times when we talk about the environment, it looks like it doesn't fit into our community, right? But environmental justice is very important to our communities, particularly if we're in communities where we have challenges with pollution. And it might look like just trash water going down in the stream, but it's a stream that's connected in our community. And so on Saturday, we have a fireside chat. It's the first time we've done this with our fireside chat. And let me tell you, this is going to be the major things. I really would love to see you two even be a part of this because we're going to do it at the Reginald Lewis Museum in Baltimore. And our very own Lieutenant Governor, Aruna Miller, is going to moderate it. We're going to have the comptroller. We're going to have the Secretary of Commerce and the Assistant Secretary of MDOT to talk about Maryland is open for business. You got to stop me because I'll keep going and going.
It's amazing.
Right. These are, I'm really happy to say that my colleague at WUSA 9, Channel 9, Larry Miller, he did a whole series on appraisal bias. And actually
Delegate Kim Taylor.
Right. And so it's real and it affects you regardless of if you are a homeowner because it just speaks to everything. I feel like the key to generational wealth or starting to level this playing field out here is real estate, is home ownership. So even if you're not doing it now. So this work is so important that you're doing and you're talking about. And I'm always struck by the fact that we moved from one area in Maryland to another area in Maryland. And the area that we were in Maryland at first, in the Silver Spring area, all these levels of high lead, right? And the paint, they were talking about all this. We moved to another area of Montgomery County where we are now. They don't even check for it. You don't have to even check for it because they are so sure that there is no lead poisoning possibility. I was so outraged by that. And that's what you really see, right?
Yes.
So this work that you're doing is important. And I'm so proud that Maryland is on the forefront of what you're saying with just the number of politicians, delegates working for this that look like us. Okay, so we're heading into this big election next year. What's the game plan? I can't.
What's the game plan? The horn of Maryland really quickly, though. We're in, as far as African Americans, we are in a very historical moment in time in the state of Maryland. We have a Black governor. We have a Black treasurer. We have a Black state's attorney. We have a Black speaker of the House. We have a female comptroller. I mean, history. And and the one thing I love about our governor is he's unapologetic about his Blackness.
Right.
He's there to support and build for every Marylander, but he is unapologetic about his concerns for Black businesses, ensuring that they're not just surviving, but they're thriving. Yes. And so much so he put in place recently an ombudsman just to deal with and handle MBE issues, first in history. So, Maryland is on the move, and we're excited about where we are in this day and time. So, the elections.
Do we have the time? Look, I want to switch gears just a little bit because I want to talk about how you sort of incorporate being being a spiritual person in this other realm of politics, because often, the whole church and state has got to be kept separate, but we know that good, firm foundation in faith just takes you so far, How do you navigate and manage all of that? All those different
it's funny. It's what grounds me to stay out of craziness, when it comes to the political arena, because I've been in politics for 30 plus years, to believe it or not. I'll be 59 next month.
Wait a minute now.
So,
beautiful.
I know this little light screen is a little fuzzy.
Oh, you look gorgeous.
And this is a real background. But I feel like I look green on the screen for some reason. But nevertheless, I cut my teeth in television at Fox 5. I was working as a PA and doing weather graphics for Sue Palka way back when.
What year was that? What year was that?
Oh my God. That was when In Living Color was out, and we used to watch it in the newsroom on Sunday nights when I had to work. So it was, oh my God, that was in
91?
90s, late 80s, early 90s.
Okay. We were in that newsroom together because I was an intern.
You remember Ruth?
I was with Ruth Ollison, and she said that if somehow our name, so she said she would put Allison Ollison. I forget how she would say it. If somebody married somebody, yes, she's also another pastor, wonderful woman that first foray into Fox 5 years ago. Anywho, okay, so you have that background.
I started, in television, TV. I have a comms background, but the church was always my life. Growing up in Annapolis, that's my grandmother. You didn't have an option. In the Black household, you didn't have an option. You were going to be saved, delivered, and you were going to serve. And so, I was in television for about 10 years, did America's Most Wanted stuff.
We were definitely in there. We were in there in the basement with John Walsh. We were in there. We were probably friends. Okay.
I know, isn't that terrible? And so after the Clinton administration, I happened to be at News Channel 8 when the shutdown took place, just at the beginning of the administration in 93. They came there, someone came there, Janice LaChance came there from OPM to talk about the budget cuts. and I slipped my resume in her hand.
Okay.
Okay.
You're always
That was
ready, right?
spirit. That was spirit. Okay.
So I slipped my resume in her hand, and the rest was history. I was hired in the Clinton administration. I worked in the Office of Communications in OPM, and I was writing speeches for Deputy Director Lorraine Green, and doing a television broadcast within the government agencies, and then went to the Labor Department, became head of director of communications for the Women's Bureau. Then wrote in my diary, Allison and Mark, that I desired to really move from that position to helping people in a way that I could touch them. And God opened the door for me to be the director of director of the Welfare to Work Initiative for SBA. And so from there, I found myself in so many White House meetings that the door opened for me to go into the White House, and I became special assistant to the president for intergovernmental affairs. And I was Clinton's liaison to county officials and city managers and mayors, et cetera. And then when we all left on January 19th out of the White House together, I was on the board of the National Council of Negro Women. And
Wow.
Dr. Hyde asked me, well, what do you want to do, Miss Pierre? And I said, I think I want to take my hat and go out here and lobby. And she said, well, you can do it in my building. And she gave me a whole suite of free space. And the rest was really history. I started this company, and, February, it'll be 23 years that I've been in business for myself as, a consultant. So I'm grateful to God. And so now I'm president of the Maryland Black Caucus Foundation, and we're the fundraising arm for the Legislative Black Caucus of Maryland. So we are the ones that make certain that we have the resources available to them for them to be able to do those things that they desire to do. And our chairwoman, Delegate Janelle Wilkins, is from Montgomery County. She's the first African-American woman in her position as delegate in Montgomery County. So doing a lot of great things and a lot of great work. And I think we need more people to know about what we do. So
I love it.
This is exciting.
Well, that's what this platform is for. And Dr. Pierre, thank you so much for joining us again. How can people find information? Do they have to sign up? Do they just come? How does it work?
Yes. If you go to our website, it's www.mdblackcaucusfoundation.org. It's pretty long. It's mdblackcaucusfoundation.org. And the Friday workshops are free. And I'm telling you, don't want to miss it. People are going to be talking about public housing stuff, how to engage in getting yourself contracts within the state of Maryland. I mean, all kinds of information is going to be shared. Mental health. Mental health is going to be another big topic. And we have a lot of great people that are going to be talking. Then, Saturday, again, you can register. Saturday, we're in Baltimore at the Reginald Lewis Museum with the Business Over Breakfast. And I think that Saturday night is going to be amazing. Too bad y'all can't come and be our MC Saturday night.
Hey, you know what?
Hit us up next year.
Yeah, come on now. Next year now. We got to do it next year. And so again, definitely. So Dr. Pierre, thank you again.
You so much.
And I'm going to see, Allison's actually going to go visit our baby, one of our babies at
Norfolk State.
Yeah. But I'm gonna come see you, Dr. Pierre, just to be like, I just want to shake your hand and thank you for being amazing. You inspired us. You got you got 3-4 jobs. You got 3-4 jobs, Okay.
I know, right? But it keeps me ironically, it keeps me sane because with all the hats, like, after this weekend, we party on Saturday, but I got to preach on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. So, I got to put my priorities in perspective.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Dr. Pierre.